Alrighty, BRT, yes sir, Bob, it's me. Okay, so today's video is going to be a real short one. And I know I promised extra videos. They probably won't go up until maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly when. But we'll start putting up the few extras. I was hoping to do them for today's set of videos, but I got caught down in the US a little bit longer than I anticipated. And currently I'm actually stuck at the border. Customs been here since just after 2 o'clock. It is now almost 7. Somebody's going to ask, are you being reimbursed for that? Yes, I am. Because they screwed up. That's a whole video on itself. Is having patience when stuck at the border. So, anyway, so today's video, and I'd mentioned about you new guys that are already driving, not you guys that haven't gotten jobs yet, but once you get jobs you can do this, because there are a lot of guys expressing interest in doing lease purchase or becoming owner-operators. Now here's the thing, you're already driving, you're as a company driver. Now that's the first thing I said, guys, make sure you're a company driver for at least 3 years, please. I mean, I can't control you guys, do what you want anyways, but it'll give you a good grasp on what the business is like. Now here, you want to go out and you want to get a truck, whether it be lease purchase or whatever. Okay, the first part of this, mainly the guys that are looking at lease purchase, if you're with a company and they have a lease purchase program, do not jump into it right away. Get all the particulars. And this is going to take some legwork, guys. You're going to have to do homework. Get yourself a spreadsheet set up on your computer, a Word sheet. Get yourself a separate notepad. If you don't want to do it via the computer, you don't have one. Get a big notepad, a steno notepad, and start making notes. And this is what you got to do. First off, you got to find out what the lease purchase program is. Everything about it, and I mean everything. You go in, you sit down, you talk to them, ask them for a copy of the contract, number one. For the lease purchase contract, ask them for a owner-operator contract so that you can see, oh, itchy nose, man, everything that you're going to be responsible for. Do you have to have extra insurance? What is it that you're paying? Does the company pay for permits, plates, etc., or do you have to pay it? If you have to pay it, how much is it? You got to find out all the fixed costs that are associated with becoming a lease purchase operator or an owner-operator. Of course, you got to find out the terms of the payments, what they're going to charge you per month. You know, do you get fuel discount? Blah 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 blah, etc., etc., etc. Can you do repairs at the company's shop or outside vendors? Do they give you emergency POs, etc.? So you got to find everything there is to find out about that contract. And for you guys that are already going to go out and just buy a truck from somewhere else, first off, find out age limit. Secondly, find out, what they, again, all the same questions, you know, what they pay for, what you have to pay for. Right down to the little nitty-gritty stuff, whether it be for Qualcomm, anything that you have to pay for so that there's no surprises, okay? So here's what you do. You go and you start driving that company truck as if it was yours. So every time you make a fuel purchase, you write it down. How many gallons you put in, how much it cost you. Start figuring out what your average miles per gallon is over a month period. You guys that are doing it per trip saying, oh, I get 9 miles to the gallon. And, you know, you only really checked it from the time you left the customer to the time you delivered, but you didn't, it's not the way to do it, okay? Oh, frickin' nose! So, maybe I'm going to win the lottery or something. I got an itchy nose. No, that's itchy palm. Oh, whatever. So, you write down all your fuel purchases. Every little thing, if you get a bottle windshield washer, write it down. You have to get a fuse, write it down. You have to get pens, write it down. Every time you take a shower and you pay for it, write it down. Every meal you get while on the road, write it down, okay? Some of you guys say, well, what, I got to write down the meals? Well, because it's all part of your taxes at the end of the year, okay? You need to figure out what your total expenses are on the road. Now, you're writing all your expenses down. If the truck goes into the shop for repair, write it down. And what I suggest you do is go into a dealer and find out what the average shop rate is, or go into a TA truck stop or any of the ones, a Petro, that have the shops there. Find out what their going shop rate is, whether it's 90 bucks an hour, 70 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour, whatever. What the hell are you doing? Find out what the rate is, okay? So that when, if your truck goes in, you can do a rough estimate as to what it would cost to get that repair done. If it's at a company shop, try to get an idea. You're going to have to do some research again as to, you know, what parts were replaced or whatever, and how much those parts were. So you're getting that all down on the notepad, and you're doing that. Also, you need to find out how much you're going to get paid, whether it be percentage, cents per mile, whatever. And you got to track not your hub miles, but you got to look at your paycheck and what you're paid, okay? The miles that you are paid on. And that's what you have to base it on. You also got to find out what the current fuel surcharge is. Whether they change it weekly or whether they change it monthly, bi-weekly, or twice every 2 weeks, whatever. So you got to find that out. You got to keep notes on that. And you got to do your math, okay? So at the end of the 1 month, you'll have a good idea of whether you can make money at their program or not. Now, if you're not making money on paper at the end of that month, don't even bother continuing. Don't even bother going to get a lease purchase or putting on a truck with that company. Okay, it's that simple. Now, that's not the end of it. That doesn't mean, okay, stop, go out and get a lease purchase. You guys need to do this for at least 3 to 6 months. Okay, I suggest the 6-month part. That's what I did. That's what you guys need to do. Okay, and the only reason I didn't put that on video for you guys is because that was something I was contemplating. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to go with it. So it's just something I was doing quietly on the side, keeping track of stuff. And it's something you guys need to do too, okay? You got to get a really good, as accurate as you can, idea as to whether you're going to make money or not. Like I said, if you're not making money on paper, and that's hopefully if you did everything right. If you didn't do everything right, well, then you got to obviously redo it. But yeah, so you got to keep track of every little expense possible. And then you'll know. And if it does show on the positive, then you got to continue doing it for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, do an average, and you're going to know roughly what you're making, right? So for your lease guys, hey, get out of there. You also got to look at it, what you know what you're making as a company driver. So you're going to have your pays. You're going to know what your gross is and what it is after taxes. You should be making at least, as a lease purchase operator, no less than 25% more than what you would as a company driver. Okay? That's after all expenses and everything. Take off the expenses. So that way the additional 25% minimum on top of it, you actually should make more. I'm just saying, as a minimum, you should make the 25% above what you'd make. So let's say if you normally would make $1,000 for the week as a company driver before taxes, you should make a minimum of $1,250. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Now you got to remember, you're going to be putting extra aside for maintenance, etc., etc., etc. Your gross overall is obviously going to be a lot higher. But what I'm saying is your walk away take home. Okay? And 25% is probably a little low. But I'm just saying that gives you an idea. That would be considered low. I'm in the initial first week, I did an additional 23 cents a mile. What that works out to, I don't know. It's not 20, it's more than 25%, obviously, because I normally get paid 41 cents. So, and I made the additional, what did I say, 23 cents? Yes, it was 23. Yes, 23 cents, because it worked out to 64 cents. So it's 23 cents above and beyond what I would have made as a company driver, okay, for all my miles. Now, there's nothing else that comes off of that. That's money that's I could give to me. I've already taken off extra for maintenance. I've already taken off my 5 cents a mile escrow account. I've already taken off. Everything's already come off. This is after truck payment, fuel payment, insurance, my WSIB insurance, my Qualcomm escrow, you name it. Everything's off. This is there is nothing left to come off. Okay? So that's how you gauge it. And so I'm just telling you right off the bat, on my first settlement, I ended up with, like I said, 23 cents above per mile of what I would have made as a company driver. And that is a significant amount, okay? Those of you who paid attention, I did 3,480 miles my first week. That's not normal. I won't normally do 3,400. I'm hoping anywhere between 25 and 2,800 miles as an average, but we will see at the end of the month. And the first month won't be an accurate gauge either, so we have to wait at least 2 to 3 months in to get a better gauge as to what the average is going to be. So that's the best way for you guys to see if the company you're with has a good lease purchase program or not, is go in as a company driver and pretend it's the lease purchase and just paper everything, man. Just keep track of it all. So, all right, that's it. That's all for today's video. Talk to you in the next one. Hopefully the additional videos will be up soon.